heard about the fact that your mind creates your reality, it changed my life. There's nothing that tells us this in our everyday life and in society. We're expected to believe that things happen to us for no reason, that we are victims of our environment and our reality. But this is far, far, far from the truth. The fact is that you put yourself in this situation you're in. You made yourself go through that horrible divorce. You are the one that attracts these constant negative experiences and negative interactions with people, and these seemingly horrible situations or bad luck that you have coming to you are a result of your thought process. And you put out this energy to the world and to the universe, and it perpetuates it. It's like a mirror. It shows you exactly what you think you're supposed to see. So if you believe you have bad luck, you're going to see it play out. If you believe you have good luck, you will see that play out. If you believe you're poor, good luck coming into wealth. If you believe you're wealthy, you're probably never going to be poor. No matter how much money you spend, you'll seem to always have an abundance of it. And it's about learning to use these laws of the universe to serve us, not to go against us in what we're trying to do and our goals. A lot of people make life harder than it needs to be. They go through these negative experiences because they choose to. And I know that's hard to understand in the beginning, but once you look into this more and more, you will understand it. But understanding it and putting it into practice are two different things. When I first heard about The Secret, I was in a very dark place in my life. I was ready to give up. And if anybody is at that point in their life where they feel like giving up, they don't have any hope or motivation or passion to live anymore, to go on with their daily lives, it is most likely because of their thought process, and they are not helping themselves by always sitting in this grief and sorrow and soaking in it, because they are just perpetuating it. They're giving it more energy. When you resist something, you're putting out a thought to the universe saying, I am resisting this thing. I do not want this thing to come my way. I am focusing on this thing because I am fearful of it. But the universe hears, I want this thing to happen to me. I want to be fearful, because the universe gives you what you focus on. And if you're focusing on fear, the universe will give you that. If you focus on needing money, the universe will give you more needing money, because it is a mirror of yourself and your energy. So it can be difficult for someone who is broke and poor and living that every second to change their thought process. But it starts with being aware of the thoughts, the negative thoughts that are creating your reality. Seeing how these thoughts are correlated with what's happening to you. Once you do that, you can be aware of the thoughts when you're thinking them, stop yourself in the middle of it, and change your thought process to be more serving to you and what you're trying to accomplish, rather than focusing on the fact that you're not getting what you want or what you need to accomplish your goal. Because it's what you focus on, remember. So, this is the first thing I started doing. I started catching myself and my negative patterns of thought. And it takes a while to shift your thought process. But if you are consistent with it, active and aware, it will start to get better in a couple weeks. I would say 2 weeks of doing this every time you have a negative thought, stopping yourself and replacing it with a thought that serves you. Within 2 weeks, it's going to start becoming natural. And within a month, you should see a huge change in the way you think and the person you are, the type of energy you hold and give out to the universe. Now, it's a matter of believing that you are already where you need to be. So if you're trying to get financial security, you're going to change your thoughts from I have no money, from how am I going to pay the rent, how am I going to get groceries, the stress. It's a lot about the emotions you're feeling, because those emotions hold energy, and those emotions are like a language to the energetic patterns and energetic layout of the universe, where all things come from and are manifested from. So if you can change from I am a victim, I am poor, I need wealth, to I am the controller and the master of my reality, I write my own script, I write my own plot, and I can play out what I choose. I am powerful. I am confident in myself. And this book, The Secret, I'm reading books like it. There's also a movie. You can listen to the audiobooks, which I prefer personally. You can do this, and it will give you the confidence. It will make you believe that you can change your own reality. But just because you believe something doesn't mean there's not underlying doubt still. And that is the problem, where most people cannot seem to have this work the way they want. They might read the book and get very hopeful about their life, and then they start doing the steps that they need to do, and then they don't see a change. They don't see themselves manifesting that $1 million. And the reason is the underlying doubt. Plain and simple. There are a couple steps. First step would be the thought process. The second step would be pairing the thought process with emotion. So if you're looking for wealth, you want to have a certain thought, I am wealthy. But that's not enough. You also want to pair that with the emotions of feeling wealthy and feeling good about your wealth. A good way to do this is to visualize the outcome that you're looking for. Because we have an imagination. We are told at a young age that when we grow up, we're not supposed to have an imagination. And it's almost trained out of us as we get older. But your imagination is the magical wand of your life. it is the most powerful thing you have. Your words are your wand, and your imagination is the power behind the wand. Your imagination is the pen that you write your reality with. If you can imagine something and let go of all of your current thoughts, beliefs, you let go of time and you lose yourself in your imagination. You can imagine being rich, and there is really no difference from you being rich and you imagining being rich when it comes to the energetical form of these two. The energy they put out, the emotions they conjure up. And so you can use this to your advantage. Imagination. So you're going to want to imagine that you're driving a nice car, your favorite car. And the feelings that come along with that, you're going to want to go through. Feel those feelings while you're imagining it. The next step would be believing in the fact that it's already here. So when you come back into your reality and you're not imagining it, you want to hold belief deep down that you already have what you're looking for. Because most of the times we have an underlying doubt deep down. And that doubt will come from the fact that you are not used to seeing your thoughts create your reality. The doubts will come from what you are taught growing up. That things can't be changed by your thoughts. That thoughts have no real reality to them. And that emotions are not important. That you should ignore your emotions. These things will hold you back. So you have to replace them with the belief. And like I said, reading books, surrounding yourself with this type of information and knowledge will replace that doubt with belief. The next thing you have to do is forget about it. Pretend like you are not trying to get somewhere. Believe you're already there. But forget about it. Like it is not important anymore. Because you're already there. In your imagination and what we're trying to do in energetical form. So, you should not be trying in your life to look for it. And when you look for it, you reinforce the fact that it's not there. You reinforce the fact that you are looking for it, and you will attract more looking for it. So you got to avoid doing this. You need to believe it is already here. In energetical form, it's already here. That's all you need. Because you will realize that once you believe 100% it's already here, you no longer need it because you've already lived through the experience of it in your imagination. You've played it out, felt the emotions. You know what it's like to have it now. So you do not need it. Once you can go on with your life without focusing on attracting it, focusing on needing it, and keeping that feeling of confidence and belief that you already have it, it is just a matter of time now. It's a matter of ducks lining up in a row. And you will get it when the time is right, when it's meant to be, and when the path of least resistance allows it. But you cannot go day to day looking for it, and you cannot put a time limit on it. Say that it's been 2 weeks and I have not seen it yet. Doing that right there will stop all the work you've done. Because you're shattering this energy that you already have it. So, if I would say there's one thing I've learned about the law of attraction, it is about removing that doubt. If there is 0.01% of doubt in your mind, in your beliefs, in your soul, in your heart, then you will fail. It's just how it is, because you cannot believe something if there is doubt. The two things do not occupy the same space. It's kind of like darkness and light. When there is light, darkness has to disappear. It cannot occupy the same space. Same with belief. When there is belief, the doubt has to be gone, all of it, or else you do not truly believe. And this is what I would bring to you. There are many books out there about the law of attraction. The best one that I could recommend is The Secret. And if you're not used to reading books, definitely listen to the audiobook. You can listen to it in a day. You can watch the movie in an hour. But if you have watched the movie, the book, in the past, for me it's been about 10 years since I've read the book, then I suggest picking that book back up, because we need to refamiliarize ourselves with these ideas, because our daily life and the interactions with other people can start to shift the way we think back to the way most people think and the way society tells us we have to do things, like working hard to get money. The fact that you don't get rewarded with lots of money unless you work your ass off for many, many years, this is a belief system. And this is what makes most people have a hard time making quick money, easy money. But if you believe that you can make easy money and quick money, then you're going to start to see it in your life. So, there's some more material here I'm going to put in the description. I'm going to put the links to these books, audiobooks, and you will do great. If you hit the bell, subscribe, and you keep coming back to these types of videos and material, you will do great. As long as you don't give up, the power is within you. What would having a lot of money feel like? What would you experience when you have this money? Because this is where a lot of people go wrong. This is where a lot of people do not do the work. People desire, people want, but then they do not experience having it. And it takes your imagination for this. And maybe most people don't do this part because they've been trained not to use their imagination. But once you believe they're trained not to use their imagination, but if you have an imagination, like all of us do, you can experience having what you want without even having it. And this is the key. This is the trick. This is how you create magic. You realize that you have the power to create. If you have the power to create in your imagination and in your mind, then you can believe these things a lot easier. If you know that you can create wealth in your mind and in your imagination, but you don't believe you can create it in your physical life, in real life, then live in your imagination. When you're thinking about money, do it in your imagination, because you would not choose to be poor, which you are in physical reality. You would choose to be rich if you had a choice. Well, you do have a choice. You have a choice of living in your mind as a rich person. And if you can do this, you have figured out the key to manifestation and the law of attraction. You want to feel the emotions of having it. You want to feel gratitude, which is one of the biggest tools you will be using when you're trying to attract something. The feeling of gratitude is very powerful. And you cannot feel grateful unless you already believe you have it. Feeling grateful reinforces the fact that you do believe you have it. So these things give each other strength. Gratitude gives your desires strength. Gratitude gives strength to what you're trying to attract. It gives strength to the fact that you already have it. You can use a gratitude journal for this. I picked one up the other day. Try to find a gratitude journal that you enjoy having and writing in. If it's a nice quality gratitude journal, you will want to write in it more. And it will give more power to the words you do write in it. A journal has been said to be one of the tools. If you ask any successful person how they got where they're at, whether it be an actor, a musician, a successful businessman, or somebody that had success in somewhere, an area like raising a child, or a teacher that was having a hard time in school and their kids were giving them a hard time. If they started writing in a gratitude journal, being grateful for the things their kids did, rather than focusing on the negative things, the things they don't like about their kids, you can do it in your workplace if you do not like a colleague that you work with. And you keep focusing when you go home on the bad things they did. Get a journal, a gratitude journal, and start writing down the things you like about them. Start writing down the relationship you want to have with them. And you'll be surprised what happens. You have to be very clear to the universe what you want in your life, because it is always giving you what you send out. The words you speak, the thoughts you hold, the beliefs you have, the universe is always reacting to those and answering them. So be more active in what you're telling the universe you would like to happen. I never used to be how I am now. 10 years ago, I was very depressed. I could not get things to go the way I wanted for the life of me. Things kept going the wrong way. Things kept screwing up. And I had the worst luck in the world, so I thought. Until I realized that I was creating it and that I could create the opposite. When I realized this, it gave me a burst of energy, more energy I've ever had in my life. It gave me a sense of hope that I've never felt before. And it took me a long time to get to where I'm at. But it was a process. And once you start focusing on these things, there's nowhere to go but up. I used to not have a place to live. I was sleeping on street benches under the half pipe at the skate park. I was sleeping in a tent for a month. I had no money to buy food. It really overwhelmed me and stressed me out when I couldn't find a place to live or didn't have money to pay for a place to live. And I would perpetuate it. I would make it worse by stressing out about it and reinforcing it with constant thoughts, compulsive thoughts about stressing and worrying about these things. I had very bad social skills. I couldn't talk to someone for the life of me, and I felt like I had no worth. There's things that I wanted to do when I was younger, but it seemed at this time when you're depressed and you have no hope, it's like all of your passion, desires, and dreams fade away. And when I realized these things, the law of attraction, I started having desires and goals again. And I would lie in bed at night and just imagine my future and what I wanted it to be like. One of the things was having my own apartment. One of the things I desired more than anything. And now, I have my own apartment. Right? And I've attracted a lot of the things that I wanted or that I wish to have. I've been to concerts. I've traveled. I have a dog. I wanted to make music. That was one of my passions. But I had none of the software or money to pursue these goals. Well, I started attracting money, and now I have everything I could ever need to make music. I even spent $2,000 on a course to learn how to produce music recently. It's not about the money anymore for me, because I have learned to be comfortable with my finances. I never worry about money. When I need something, I buy it, and I am confident that money comes to me, and it does, in one way or another. This is something your gratitude journal can help you with. Once you attract one small thing, build on that. Be grateful for it. Think of it every time you get a chance. Say, wow, I do attract what I want. I attracted that tablet that I wanted so bad. I can do it with anything if I can do it with that tablet, and feel the emotions of gratitude, of hope. Use that one small thing you attracted, whether it be $1, a nice gesture someone does to you, a free magazine. If it's small and you attracted it, good. The smaller, the easier, the better. The more you'll believe in it. It's hard to believe in yourself winning the lottery or getting $1 million given to you for free. But finding $1 on the ground, it's easy. I used to imagine myself finding a wallet full of money on the ground. Money out, putting it in my pocket, the feeling I would feel with that. Well, it took me over 5 years for me to find a wallet on the ground. I did find a wallet somewhere else with money in it about a year or two after I started desiring this. But I wanted it to happen right away. And that's the one thing I was wrong with. You cannot want it to happen right away. You have to already have what you need. You realize that you only get money when you don't need it. This is because when you forget about what you want, you allow the universe a chance to give it to you. But the universe doesn't work on time. We work on time. The universe works on energy and the path of least resistance. So if you want money, go out and put yourself around opportunities for this to happen. If you want a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a spouse, a husband, a wife, and you're sitting in your house every day, all day, you're not giving the universe a path of least resistance for that to happen. So it's going to take a lot longer. And the time that you're in your house is more time to reinforce the fact that you don't have that. So I suggest you giving the universe a path for these things to come to your life with. I want to be a musician. I want to DJ at a club. It's one of my dreams right now. Well, if I don't practice DJing, and if I don't go out and call clubs and venues and ask for them to hire me or ask to do these things for free, over time I'm going to get less confident with that, and I'm going to start to doubt it, the fact that I can do this. And you do not want that to happen, because the littlest bit of doubt is like poison when you're trying to attract something. And the littlest bit of faith, well, there's a saying in the Bible, faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. And that is true when you understand these things. Because faith means removal of all doubt. So once you have a small, tiny piece of faith, there must be no doubt. So that little bit of faith can go a long way when faith removes all doubt. Right now I have more than enough finance